I never know. Cheers, welcome. I'm Jessica Hentoff, Jessica the Circus Lady from Circus Harmony, and this is Circus Harmony's Up in the Air live stream, graciously hosted on the City Museum Facebook page. City Museum is the home of Circus Harmony, and Circus Harmony is St. Louis's only social circus school. We use the teaching and performing of circus arts to motivate social change. We love our home at City Museum. We hope you go visit them. Check out their website at citymuseum.org. They are open now, and there's plenty of room to be socially distanced. We are currently not doing shows there, but we are offering classes, micro classes of 3 people, or private or semi-private lessons. More on that later. But while we're waiting for people to join us, and before I bring in our special guest, Michelle Fassler, I'm going to show you a show from 10 years ago. So those of you who watch know that I am something of a techno peasant, and we are just hoping that I can show you this show from 10 years ago. One can only hope that this time it will work. So not that one. Okay, this is Circus Harmony Grazioso, the opening of a show from 10 years ago. Let's see what happens. That was the opening act of Grazioso 10 years ago. I stepped away to grab the program. I'm going to show the closing act at the end of this live stream, but I want to bring in our special guest who is waiting patiently in the wings. But if that looked choppy to you when you see it on the live stream, you can always go to our YouTube page and look up Grazioso, and you can watch the whole show. I will say that of the 12 young people you saw in that act, 7 of them are still performing, but more on that later. Right now, I'm going to bring in somebody that even if you come to any of our, last year we did 741 shows, you could have been at every one of them and never seen this person, although she's integral to the running of Circus Harmony. Please welcome to the Up in the Air live stream, our general manager, Michelle Fassler. Drum roll, please. I thought I pressed the right button. Why isn't she coming in? Oh, and there she is. I love it when technology works. Whew. Welcome, Michelle.
Oh, how are you?
Living the pandemic dream, as you know. We have already had a meeting this morning. We've been back and forth in emails and texting because as a general manager, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle or a lot of balls that you have to juggle. But let's start with, how long have you been with Circus Harmony?
Almost years.
And what do you think?
Wait, 3 years.
Time flies when you're in the circus.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're working on defying gravity. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is 3 years. What do you think in your past life, before you ran away and joined the circus, prepared you for being the general manager of not just a circus, but a social circus school?
A lot of things. So, I mean, I worked in mental health for about 10 years.
There you go, right there.
Before this. So, I mean, there's a lot of, not just that it was mental health, but there's a lot of things. So we have a lot of kids with a lot of different backgrounds. So probably a lot of times the kids don't think that I'm paying attention to them at all, but I am, you know, so I'm just that. So there's the piece of that, not just working with the kids, but the parents a lot of times. So we have parents that call from all over and ask about things like scholarships and tell their stories. So being able to work with that and not.
Didn't you serve as a school counselor?
I have a master's degree in school counseling. So I worked for about a year as a school counselor doing my practicum. I did that and then decided I didn't want to do that. Actually, I didn't feel like I actually helped enough. I did a lot of paperwork, which is now I do a lot of paperwork, but I did that and then went and worked with adults in mental health for that time, actually. So, but having just that training and having worked with parents before, both I also worked as a admissions counselor for a school in Arkansas. So I'd worked with parents a lot in that capacity and dealing with really sensitive information. You know, when people are going off to college, they have to share their most private financial information with you. So being able to just talk with people about that, not judge and that kind of stuff, you know, that has really helped me, I think, and being able to say it's not a problem. We can work with it. It's okay. So I think that has really helped me. Having worked with schools, so in that job and then in my mental health job, working with community organizations and schools and being able to reach out and understand what they're going through while we're trying to connect with them and get the information we need and get in there. That has really helped both with setting stuff up, but then also in just trying to implement our programs, both on our side and their side, of being able to say, here's the stuff that we need to do. Here's the information that's going to help us get in, knowing like, oh, that's going to be really hard for them or that's going to be really hard for us. I think that has really helped. Sometimes knowing stuff, I think there's a piece like being a mom, that stuff has helped sometimes. Being a
mom is good experience for a lot of
things. Yeah. So stuff with like
mom, you can handle.
Yeah. Registration stuff, like knowing like, you know, things with registration systems and that kind of stuff. And knowing that has helped. Just having experience with it, that, you know, that kind of stuff has helped. Even with job stuff, like
handle all our financials.
How did I know how to do financials?
Yeah, I mean, the fact is that you handle our financials, which are
complex. I do. So one piece, I did a lot of billing for Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. So I just was comfortable with numbers. And then I never remember, I think it's like 8 years, I have been a volunteer at United Way in reviewing organizations for the allocations process. So part of that is looking at financials and knowing them. I've been a chair, I'm on the community investment committee. So just looking at financials and knowing them and understanding how they work. Oh, well, and I was on the board of the Rotary Club. So, I looked at our financials as well. So knowing how they work. And then, so I had a basic understanding. When I was in grad school, I took time off and then went back to grad school. So when I did that, I decided not to work full time, and I student taught and I temped. So I had a little bit of experience working at, you just go into a company and they say, cool, you're now the accounts payable person. You go, okay, I'll learn your system today. So not being afraid of it was part of it. And then we were looking at hiring a new accountant. And as I talked to a couple of them, they said, it sounds like you know enough about this, you could learn how to do it, full stop. So then
we're always looking for ways to save money and be frugal. Going back to your work with the United Way, I think that's really helped you, because you know a lot of rules and regulations and things that funders look for that you've learned through your work with United Way and looking at all these very different nonprofit organizations.
Yeah, so being on the other side definitely really helps, of knowing what funders are looking for. I did that. And then we had a grants process at the Rotary Club too. So being kind of at that small level, knowing what kind of people are looking for and kind of being in the heads of people that are giving away money helps to know what people who are asking for money should know. Yeah.
And speaking of the Rotary Club, we didn't meet then, but that's when you first learned about, that's the first time you learned about Circus Harmony, was when I came to speak there?
I had seen shows, at City Museum and around town. So my daughter was very small, and there was a clown, Claire the Clown, and her name is Claire. So we went through a period of time where we had to always go see Claire the Clown, and it was not always with Circus Harmony, but we saw a lot of different circus things. But so then Jessica came and presented at the Rotary Club.
With Chauncey Fairbound.
We'll have a presenter every week, and it's not always a nonprofit, but it'll be some sort of thing. And I did that for part of my job. And part of my job at my last job was kind of like business development. I help people with disabilities find jobs. So I did part of that just to stay connected to the community. It can be easy when you work in nonprofits to get really into your bubble. So I did that to stay connected. And Jessica came and presented with Chauncey. And I do remember very vividly, my friend Amy, who is a nonprofit person, I remember saying, I didn't realize they did all this stuff. I knew it was like kids doing circus, and it was neat and cool, and they were so great, but I didn't realize how much impact there was in the community. And wouldn't it be really cool to work there? And she was like, yeah, man, we could write a grant for that. It's
and little did you know that several years later,
however much time it was later, here I would be.
Well, we're glad you're here, and go back and look on Twitter, because I always announce who our special guest is going to be, and you got a couple of very nice shout outs on Twitter calling you a rock star.
Stayed off Twitter today.
That's a good day to stay off Twitter, and tomorrow might be a good day also, or to stay nonstop on Twitter. But that they called you a rock star. You are one of the people that makes everything in the ring happen. And I think people don't realize how much goes into just kids getting to a class, kids being in a show, getting the costumes, getting the music, getting the sound system, just working with the teachers, scheduling everything. Yeah. It's a really complex operation, and you are, we call you the general manager because you manage generally everything. We're such a small organization.
Yeah, so thinking about this for today, I made a list of the stuff I did today to see okay, what things do I touch today?
And this is before 4:00.
Yeah, and it was I did something on our website because it needed to be updated for something to make sure we could get some funding. I had to deal with our 990 with our accountant, so that's something that we do. I was looking at a funder's 990 to see who they had funded, to see what kind of if we would align with their stuff. I was working with classes. We're getting ready to start a new session. So I was looking at classes and talking to parents about that and talking to coaches about classes to see where that we're talking to Jessica about classes. I was dealing with our QuickBooks and doing I do the, bookkeeping as well, to do the payables and receivables and all that stuff, and going into our bank account and our credit card account to do paying of the bills and that kind of stuff, and looking at things, so it is really a lot of stuff. And that's just that. And the stuff that when you work at a big organization, there's lots of people to do all those little things and make sure you have the insurance paid and all that, but I kind of do all that. So, I mean, the good thing about that is that you have kind of one person you can go to for everything. The bad thing about that is sometimes my head is like, but
when I was promoting that people that come and hear you, you're juggling your responsibilities, balancing your priorities. That's what we do in the circus. But there's a lot of balls in the air, and if one drops, it's a problem.
So, and the other thing that I did think about, the thing that my past jobs have done is I did have a lot of jobs that were very autonomous, like being an admissions rep and being a community case manager, where you had to really manage your schedule and do those things. So a lot of that experience has really helped, of where I had to say, like, okay, you go visit these schools and you do it this fall, and, being like a 22-year-old and having to do that and book my own travel and all that stuff. So that really helped, that I just have had that experience kind of most of my career where I had to do that. That really helps, because I can in a day know I have all this stuff to do and I have to get it done. So being able to do that has really helped.
And what you were saying about being autonomous, all of that are the kind of life skills that we try and teach our students, so that they can manage the many things that come with just being a human.
Right.
Starting with your own schedule and being self-motivating and being on time and responsible and reliable and able to manage money and able to talk to people of all ages. I mean, that's exactly what we're trying to teach students. And part of being a social circus, besides the community connecting work that we do, like we just did that great program with Circus Circuli in Stuttgart, Germany, but it's just building character in individuals to make them better parts of a community, and then we expand their sense of community. So it's also been helpful that you've been in St. Louis for a long time, and you, in your other jobs, you've traveled so many places, you know all the neighborhoods. And that's really helpful too. Anything you would like to say to anybody who's thinking of joining the circus, either to work or to just take class, or to give us money?
Yeah, well, I think you should give everyone money. Well, it will go to promote, like, so Jessica just said, it's not just about people juggling balls and, for everybody. So think about doing a class with all there. I think there is really just a real sense of community. I can't speak, as it would be hard for me to do it. I can balance a feather. I did try to juggle balls once, but I didn't keep practicing. That has always been a bad thing for me. As self-motivating as I am for work, when it comes to hobbies,
you can jump into juggling class any Wednesday or Saturday. Come on.
Yeah, but I will say, anyone who does it just loves it. And one of my favorite parts of the job, and when people ask us about it, we've been doing some things lately where people ask us about, why do you work there and why do you keep coming back? And I mean, the kids, and I see the kids do the shows, and they're very heartwarming and they're sweet, and I love the kids, but it is really, for me, the parents that tell me these stories about, my kid was doing this and that, and now they've come to circus and their life has changed so much. And probably that hits for me because I have worked with kids with disabilities for so long, and adults with disabilities. And so when I hear, my kid had ADHD, or my kid had this, and this has been life-changing for them, I think for me, that is why you want to do it. And you don't have to have a disability to do circus, obviously, but especially now, so many people are struggling with, just situational depression or things like that, that you can really just put yourself into something and do that. So there's a lot of things that can do that for you, but this is something, when I think of most sports and why a lot of kids struggle with sports, it's because there's that competitive aspect that is really hard for them. And it's not competitive. I mean, you compete against yourself,
Right.
get better, but it's not, you do that. So I think that is why
And
people
also,
should think
there's
about
a
taking a
place
class.
for everybody. If you're if you can't run fast, you're not going to do well in soccer. And if
Right.
you carry a tune, you can't be in musical theater. But in circus, there's clowning or juggling or unicycling or tumbling, and there's something for everyone. I think it's a testament also to how long people stay with it. The fact that that show from 10 years ago, more than half those kids have stuck with this is quite
Yeah.
amazing. And the ones that haven't are still in touch with us and tell me how it has positively affected their life, no matter what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I sometimes when I see the old pictures, it's like for kids to stick with things that long, it really is amazing. Well, and families to stick with it when I think about how busy people are and everything for families. And these students, the kids that you see at the higher level, if you've come to City Museum and see it or see it on our Facebook, it's a huge commitment. Sometimes I think, gosh, I couldn't do that. My daughter was in Girl Scouts and I would get annoyed at like 2 things a week, you know?
Yeah, the
Um,
local kids come often, and even
so
now online as we're doing
yeah,
these new schedules.
yeah,
And
so
we
it
do have a
is.
lot of classes online for people, and we're just now starting to look at what we're doing for this summer.
Yeah.
So that'll be out soon. Is there anything else you want to say? Thanks so much for taking a moment out of your day, although this is, part of the job is just letting people know that we're here. And I think you're right from what you noticed when you first heard me speak at the Rotary Club, how much depth there is to what Circus Harmony does. We do teach children to defy gravity and soar with confidence and leap over social barriers. And we do this incredible community connecting all at the same time.
Yeah. So I think, I don't remember when it was last year, about a year and a half or so ago, I started doing the evaluations of our classes out in the community classes.
Mm-hmm.
And that really like kind of then opened up another set of eyes for me to see just the different types of people that came, not different types of people, but who was attracted to those classes
And we
maybe.
teach in a lot of different places.
Yeah, so we were teaching in Florissant and in the city, in a lot of different community centers, like communities that I spent a lot of time in as a community mental health worker for years. And then to see how hard some of those centers were working to get students there and the services that they provide and how we complemented those. And people don't necessarily always know, how hard it is to recruit students for those. So I would also say, like, if you know a place that could use an arts program,
Right now, we're looking for places. We have
Yeah.
funding to bring our circus science program. It's a really fun way to learn science and circus at the same time. So yes, it would still be on Zoom, but you're up and you're moving and you're learning actual circus skills while you're learning science concepts. We have that available to schools and our basic circus arts classes because kids aren't able to do some of the activities they used to do. So if you contact us, we'll put you in touch with Michelle and she will make it so, because that's kind of your job is
Yeah.
to go, oh, let's do this great thing. And then can you make it so?
Right.
So thanks for making it so. Thanks for coming on the program and
Sure thing.
for letting us make your day for all these years a circus day and circus series. And thanks so much for helping me make other people's day a circus day. People who know me know that I am all over the place and need somebody organized to help make sure that the things that I'm saying or thinking really happen. And you're the person who does that.
I'm happy to.
Thank you very much. I'm going to let you go. We have Maple's trick of the day, and then I'm going to show the finale from Glaciosa.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
So we're about to, you can, yeah. We're about to do the very awkward moment where we move the computer to Maple level. For those of you who don't know who Maple is, Miss Maple is our 2-year-old scruff muffin. She's kind of like our mascot, and she's been home, like all of us, training. So there's Maple. She's going into the tunnel. Let me see. Michelle is still there, so let me move her. Sorry about that. What I said about, there we go. Okay, so you can kind of see Maple. Maple, we're going to show a couple of things. Could you bring me the cupcake? If you go to the circus, bring me the cupcake. No, 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 bring me the cupcake. Go on. The cupcake. Yeah. Bring me a cupcake, please. Because I wanted to show you what we're working on for our next project. Oh, thank you. It is a cookbook. So we just happen to have a cupcake here, but it's going to be a full cookbook digital. It's going to be amazing. We're looking for sponsors who want to support the cookbook. So if you or anybody you know, or if you happen to know anybody in the Schnooks, Dearberg, or Straub's family who would like to support the Circus Harmony cookbook and show, let me know. I have a cupcake. Could you get the coffee? Where's my coffee? Come here. Go to the circus. Go to the circus. Bring me my coffee. Circus Harmony is, of course, the home of the very famous, thank you, Defy Gravity Coffee. You can get it. There's a link below. You can get it on our website. It's really good coffee. And when you buy the coffee, it supports our Flying Children Scholarship Fund. So it gives you a lift, helps the child fly all at the same time. Fresh roasted whole bean coffee. That's what I drink every show all the time. And I would love it if you did too. So now, Maple is working on her own new trick. Are you ready, Maple? So we're just going to show you kind of the anatomy of it, and hopefully every week she'll do a little bit more. Let's move your tunnel here. So, ordinary everyday suitcase. Maple, pack it up. So the first step was to get Maple to get in the suitcase, which she was pretty happy doing. And then the next part, stay there, Miss Maple, is to get her to lay down in the suitcase. Can you pack down? Pack down. Pack down. She just barely fits. Pack down. Good girl. And now what we're working on in the suitcase trick is her being comfortable with me closing the top. So she's been working on this just a few days now, but she's fairly comfortable with the top closed. Fairly comfortable. What I want to do is teach her how to close the top, and then we'll see where we go from there. But in the hopes that we're ever out of quarantine and travel again, now she'll know how to pack herself up. Okay, can you get out? Huh? Good girl. And another new trick she's working on is jumping through a hoop. She just started this today. We'll see how it goes. Huh? It's a little scary, I know. So right now the paper is loose. Huh? But if you've seen Maple, you know she's a champion jumper. Huh? 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 You can do it. Huh? Good girl. So little by little, she's going to be working on that. And then we can put your logo, if you want to be a sponsor, or Circus Harmony's logo, and she'll burst through the logo. So that's the plan. Speaking of plans, how about oh, she loves this trick. This is her favorite trick. She jumps through a hoop, a fake fire. Are you ready? Hop. Oh, that was not good. Hop. Good girl. Hop. Good girl. Hop. All right, Maple. Come down. Can you take a bow? Take a nice bow. Good girl. And back home, because we are still, go home. We are still sheltering in place. Good, Maple. And now, as promised, there's that other awkward moment. As promised, we're going to go look at the finale from Grazioso, which was a show from 10 years ago. It was a show based in a museum. So you had T-Rock did an act, has the Thinker sculpture. There was a Magritte juggling act by Kellen Quinn. It's going down memory lane here, you can't see, but I was saying that of the 12 young people that were in that first act that I showed, 7 of them are still performing. 2 of them are about to be parents, not the performers, but the very littlest boy, he's going to be a dad. One of the other boys is going to be a dad for the second time. So Chauncey is still performing. You can follow him. He's called On the Hoopster on Instagram, and he's hoop diving. Last year, he worked with Cirque du Soleil. This year, we're waiting to see what happens with performers everywhere. Sydney I. King Bateman is now known as Reginald Thomas, and he's with WWE. He was on SmackDown. If you go on our Facebook page, there's a little clip showing him using his circus skills with the WWE. He's still performing, he's still flipping, it's just a square ring instead of a circus ring. Keaton, Hentoff Killian, is with Circuit Contemporary Circus in Australia, where they know how to control the virus, so they are touring and performing. His brother Kellen, look him up, The Kellen, on Instagram. He is not only doing some amazing YouTube videos, he also has his own clothing line, and he's doing the music for the videos. So go look up The Kellen, buy some nice, comfortable clothes with original Kellen designs. T-Rock, Terrence Robinson, was with Cirque du Soleil, as was Melvin Diggs. They got shut down when they were in Moscow. They are now, I believe, in Georgia and Vancouver, respectively, waiting for the world to open back up. Eliana, of course, is our lead coach and still doing her one-woman show when there is a one-woman show to do, is also available for online shows. Did I say everybody who was in that act? Max is not performing, but he's working as a screenwriter. And then I'm not sure if they're going to be in this act that I'm about to show you, but Cecilia is a coach with us right now. Karina's doing forensic pathology with the police department in Tucson. Oh my gosh. Circus Harmony Grazioso. Let me show you the grand finale from that show. Hopefully I can do the whole screen share thing. You never know with me and the internet. So I believe this is the finale. Thank you for your patience. There we go. Sigh. I can't wait until we can go back in the ring and be doing those tricks and other tricks with our current St. Louis arches. So please, until then, wear a mask, socially distance, do the right thing so that we can get back to throwing people around. Meanwhile, we're happy to book shows or classes for you online. We do workshops for all ages. And if you know a child who would really benefit from running away and joining the circus, even if it's only digitally, let me know. If you know a school that's interested in booking our really cool circus science classes or basic circus arts, we actually have funding to bring that to an underserved school, let me know. And if you know anybody who would like to be the sponsor of the Circus Harmony cookbook and show, which is going to premiere on March 16th. That's the 1-year anniversary of the St. Louis lockdown, and we will bring you a cookbook, the likes of which you have never experienced before. Thanks very much. I'm Jessica Hentoff from Circus Harmony. We hope you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Tune in every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Central Time on City Museum's Facebook page. Go to City Museum's website, citymuseum.org. Go to our website, circusharmony.org. And thanks for letting us make your day a circus day. Don't forget to buy your Defy Gravity coffee.